Okay, so lesson 3 and lesson 4, this is when we use the logarithmic properties. So I wrote this little cheat sheet up here, and you'll find this in lesson 3. But basically, what we're going to be doing is when we see multiplication, like I have written here, if we're going to expand, we're going to be turning the multiplication into division. Multiplication into addition. I'll explain this. And then division, we're going to be turning it into subtraction if we're expanding. So that's the direction we go if we expand. And the first directions tell us to expand. And expand means to get bigger, right? So we're going to take this. Notice that this is just one log, right? What I mean by that is, like, down here, there's 2 logs. And in this case, we would condense by making it smaller, right? We're going to put both of these logs, we're going to combine them just into one log, okay? But in this one, with expand, we're going to take this one log and we're going to expand it and split it into at least 2, sometimes 3, but at least 2 different pieces, okay? Now, how do we know where to start? Well, we look in here, which is that 5x, and we see, what is this doing? So this right here is multiplying, okay? Multiplication. So if we see multiplication, we know we're going to split it up by using addition. Now we're going to split this up into 2. One's going to be log base 3 of, okay, actually this is like the formula we're going to use. We're going to say plus log base 3 of something else. Now, the something else we fill in is going to be different depending on what's in the parentheses. What's in the parentheses here? My first number is 5, and my next letter is x, right? So that's your answer. That's all you have to do to expand. You're taking each piece of this. You have a 5 and you have an x, and you're going to be adding. Again, we add because it goes with multiplication here, okay? And we're going to be adding these 2 logs together. That's your final answer. It's expanded. We're done. Remember, when we expand, there should only be one number or one letter in each parenthesis, and we're done. So it's good. Okay, number 9. Now, if I see division, the first thing I see here is division. When I see division, I'm going to be using subtraction to expand. So I'm going to be splitting this up, log base 4 of 12x of the top minus the bottom, log base 4 of the bottom, which is 5. Again, division goes with subtraction, so I subtract. Okay, now I'm not done. Notice here how I just have one number in each parenthesis. Okay, here I have one number in the last parenthesis, but I have 2 numbers here, right? Or not 2 numbers, but like a letter and a number. So I have to split both of these up. I still have to split that up. So this is going to be log base 4. Now, of 12, remember that this is being multiplied. This is 12 times x. And remember, with multiplication, we use addition when we're splitting it up. So this is 12 plus log base 4 of x. Okay, and then I'm going to bring down my minus log base 4 of 5. And now we have one number or letter in each parenthesis, and that's your final answer. Okay, number 10. Let's do this one. Now again, I see division. Division means subtraction. So I'm going to split this up, log base 6 of x to the 3rd. I'm going to take the top and I'm going to subtract the bottom, log base 6 of y to the 7th. Now, lesson 4 teaches us, remember there's one extra step in lesson 4, and that extra step was to take whatever you have in the exponent. If you do have an exponent, you're going to take it and you're going to bring it down to the front. So now it's going to be 3 log base 6 of x minus 7 log base 6 of y. And that's your final answer. So we bring the 3 in front and the 7 in front, and that's going to be your final answer there. remember, expanding, which is what we're doing, means getting bigger. Okay, we're going to be splitting this off and making it bigger. So now I see this is being multiplied. Now, here's the catch here on this one is realizing how many terms are being multiplied. I have a 16, I have an x squared, and I have a y to the 5th. Those are 3 different pieces. So actually, let me erase this, and I'm going to split it up into 3. 16, x squared, y to the 5th. It should be 3 different pieces. Log base 2, remember multiplication always means addition, 16, plus log base 2 of x squared, plus log base 2 of y to the 5th. Okay, so I have my 16, I have my x squared, and I have my y to the 5th. 16, x squared, y to the 5th, right? So now I look to make sure there's not 2 letters or 2 numbers in each parenthesis. So I just have a 16, x squared, y to the 5th, so that's good. Now, if I have exponents, I bring it to the front. So this is a 2, I'm going to bring it to the front. This is a 5, I'm going to bring it to the front. And if you just had this on your test, it would be correct. It'd be 100% correct. And you'd get full credit. But so remember, you bring this 5 in front, then you just have the y there. So this 5 is the only thing that's coming in front. This 2 is the only thing that's coming in front, here and here, right? Now, that would be fine, but if you wanted extra credit, if you look here, remember, this is like saying 2 to what power equals 16? 2 to what power equals 16? It's like saying this, 2 to what power equals 16? What would your answer be there? It would be 4. Sorry, I was thinking. So 4, it would be 4. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So we'd multiply 2 together 4 times to get 16. So that would be 4, and then I would just bring everything else down. So if you recognize that, that's your extra credit answer. Okay. Okay. Now, the next one is going to say condense. Condense means get smaller. We just got bigger. We took 1 log and we split it into multiple pieces. Now we're going to take the multiple pieces and we're going to condense or make smaller. We're going to combine them into 1 log. So notice here there's minus. When you have subtraction, that means you're going to take this and you're going to divide because of the subtraction. Subtraction, division, right? Remember up here? Subtraction, division. So when we expand, we're going to go from division to subtraction. Now we're condensing, so we see subtraction, so we're going to divide to make it smaller. So I'm going to say log base 3, and subtraction means division, so 5 over x. And that's your final answer. Okay, if you see a number in front, like this 2, this 3, you're going to bring it to the top. Remember before we brought it down? That was our first, pretty much our last step here, right, was to bring the 2 down in front. Here we're going to bring the 3 up, so we're going like backwards now. So it's going to be log base 5 of x squared plus log base 5 of y to the 3rd minus log base 5 of x. They all have log base 5, which means we can combine them all together. Now, because we have addition here, addition means we're going to multiply these 2. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Log base 5 of x squared y to the 3rd. We just multiplied those. You can also put like a dot in between to mean multiplication, okay? And then I'm going to bring my minus log 5 to the x. Remember, when we're condensing, our goal is to bring it into 1 parenthesis. As long as the bases here are the same, and they're all log 5. So that's good. We can combine these now by division. See how this is subtraction? It means we're going to divide. So again, I'm going to take log base 5, and I'm going to say x squared y to the 3rd divided by x. Now you want to simplify, because we can simplify. I see an x in the top and in the bottom. So this is x squared, this is x. If I have 2 up top, that means x times x, and I have 1 on the bottom, just x, right? So I can cross this one off and this one off, and I just have 1 left on top. So it would be log 5 xy cubed, and that's your answer. I have nothing left on the bottom. You can also put a dot there if you want to, because it's multiplication. Number 14. Okay, again, if you see a number in front, you want to move it to the top. Not to the top, but like above it to make it an exponent. So log x to the 4th. Remember, if there's no base, it's automatically 10. You don't have to write it though, but you do need to know it. You do need to know it, but you don't have to write it. Just know that that's a 10. Sometimes you'll need it, but we don't need to know that that's a 10 right now. All we need to know is these both match, right? They're both a base of 10. So that means we can combine these. Addition means we're going to be multiplying whatever's in the parentheses. So it's going to be x to the 4th times x to the 6th. And that's like saying x times x times x times x multiplied 4 times, and then x multiplied together 6 times. So how many x's do we have total? 10. That's your final answer. Okay, last one on this page. Now here, okay, here we go. This is really saying 3 to what power equals 9? And this is really saying 3 to what power equals 27, right? Remember, when we have numbers in here, we want to check for this. So my answer here, well, 3 squared is 9, right? 3 times 3 is 9. My answer here is 3. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. If I add both of these, because remember it was addition over here, my answer is 5. That one's a hard one.